Chapter 1. Bugger! Oh, shit! Sir Richmond stabbed helplessly at the pause button on the big steel tape deck and watched in dismay as the twin spools of recording tape twirled and bunched into a glistening cat's cradle. The machine juddered to a halt with an ear-splitting metallic shriek, and the radio station's technical engineer put his head around the editing suite's door. "Problem, Seb? Again?" The younger man sighed. "How do you always bloody know when I screw up, Jess? I thought the studio was meant to be soundproof." 30 years at BBC gives you an ear for trouble, son, especially where new boys like you are concerned, and it's no different here in commercial radio. Not exactly suited to the life of a radio reporter, are you? You should have stayed in that London paper of yours. "Yeah, tell me about it." Seb hesitated. "Between you and me, I phoned my old editor up yesterday, asked if they'd have me back. Not a chance. They haven't even replaced me. Cost-cutting. I'm stuck up here on Lake District FM. Well, until I get the chop, that is. My 3 months probation's almost up. Even I wouldn't keep me on." He tugged ineffectually at the tangle in front of him. "Jesus, Jess, look at this mess. Wow, and he's a poet, too. What was on it?" "Only my bloody interview with Thatcher at the Cumbria Conservative fete earlier. The network's meant to be taking it down the line on the newsfeed at midnight. It's for Good Morning UK tomorrow. Fat chance now. I could untie the Gordian knot quicker than this." He kicked back his chair on its casters and rubbed at his eyes with both fists. "Never mind probation. It's going to be the sack for Seb this time." The technician eased himself further into the tiny room and looked calmly over the reporter's shoulder, trying to conceal his natural sympathy. The new boy was young enough to be his son. "Yep, it's a grade A foul-up," he said cheerfully. "Looks like one of my kids' fishing lines when they've cocked up a cast on Windermere. Tell you what, you go get me a coffee. Milk, 1 sugar, while I straighten this out. How many idiots does it need?" Seb stared at him in disbelief. "You mean you can actually save this? Jess, you're a walking miracle." He scrambled out of his chair and stood for a moment, considering. "Well, let's see. About 3 cuts, that should do it. Lose my opening question to her completely. I was all nervous gabble. I'll write the sense of it into the presenter's live studio cue. Start with her first answer." He scratched his chin. "Then take out the whole bit about whether she thinks she'll be our next PM," he continued, as the engineer began to untangle the mangled tape with practised deftness. "She completely stonewalled me. Eyes like bloody chips of ice. Oh, and cut the end part completely. Maggie wouldn't talk about her husband Dennis or the kids, or how she really got to be Tory leader. I come across as whiny and desperate, and she just sounds irritated. I don't blame her." Seb sighed. "I thought this radio lark was going to be easy, but I just can't do it. I was fine with my notebook and pen, but stick a mic in my hand and I completely lose the plot." "Christ, Jess, how are you doing that?" The tape had been efficiently respooled and was winding smoothly back to the start on fast return. "Your problem is you're too impatient, Seb. I've been watching you. You busk everything. You don't take time to learn. Now let's have us a listen." Jess punched play, and after some hissing white noise, a nervy, breathy voice could be heard, stammering the opening question to the leader of Her Majesty's opposition. The reporter closed his eyes. "Christ, listen to me. Do you see what I mean? I sound about 17. "You are about 17. I was 28 last week. If you say so, punk. Actually, forget that coffee. Go nick us both a cold drink from station manager's fridge while I edit this. It's stifling in here." "And out here," Seb said, as he moved into the corridor. He paused. "I thought it was supposed to be cooler up in the frozen north. Since I got here, it's felt more like Greece. 32 degrees again tomorrow." "Yup, 90 and old money." The engineer nodded and reached for a razor blade to start slicing the tape. "I've never known summer like it. Haven't seen a cloud in weeks, have you? My lawn looks like a piece of toast. Still, not as hot up here as your precious London, eh? They're dropping like flies on pavements down there. At least that's something to make you glad you quit Fleet Street for us hicks in the sticks, eh?" Seb gave a short laugh. "You have to be bloody joking, Jess. I wish I'd never left."